Hello. Much love to you all, and many blessings. Our story today is about Lazarus. Lazarus's miracle stands out as one of the most remarkable miracles in the Bible. This event showed the power of faith and the promise of resurrection. Lazarus's story inspires people every day to trust in miracles. Join us as Roscoe tells us a story about the deep bond of love, faith, and hope that exists between friends and family. And how that faith can change anything. Say hello to Roscoe.
Hi. My name is Roscoe. I'm a mountain rescue dog, and sometimes my rescues are so unbelievable that some call them miracles. Today I want to tell you the story of one of the most amazing miracles of all. The story of Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead. Our story, as told in the book of John, begins as Jesus was teaching and performing miracles. Mary and Martha sent a message for Jesus, because their brother Lazarus was sick, and they hoped he would come quickly and heal him. They knew Jesus had the power to heal and that his presence could change everything for their family. As they waited, concern grew because Jesus stayed where he was for 2 more days, delaying his visit, despite the urgent plea for him to come and help their brother Lazarus, whom Jesus loved, just as he loved Mary and Martha. So, Jesus remained where he was, for 2 more days. And didn't rush to Bethany to help Lazarus. He decided to return to Judea with his disciples, even though they tried to warn him from returning to Judea, reminding him that the Jews wanted to stone him to death. But Jesus answered, "Are there not 12 hours in the day? If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But if anyone walks in the night, he stumbles, because the light is not in him." After saying these things, he said to them, "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I will go to awaken him." The disciples said to him, "Lord, if he has only fallen asleep, he will recover." Jesus was speaking of his death, but they thought that he meant that Lazarus was only resting in sleep. Then Jesus told them plainly, "Lazarus has died. And for your learning, I am glad that I was not there so that you may believe." By the time Jesus arrived in Bethany, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. And when Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him, but Mary remained seated in the house. Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if you would have been here, my brother would not have died. But even now, I know that whatever you ask from God, God will give to you." And Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise again." Then Martha replied, "I know that he will rise again in the resurrection on the last day." And Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he dies, he shall live. And everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die." "Do you believe this?" he asked her. And she said, "Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, and the Son of God who has come into this world." Then she called to Mary to join them. When Mary saw Jesus, she fell at his feet, and said what Martha had said, that if he had been here when Lazarus was still alive, she knew he would have been able to save him. Then, Jesus asked where Lazarus had been buried, and when they showed him, he wept. And then, Jesus told them, "Roll the stone away." All who were there knew that Jesus loved Lazarus, and they all knew he could probably have saved Lazarus. As Jesus came closer to the grave, which was a cave with a stone across it, Jesus told them again, "Roll the stone aside," but Martha told him that it had been 4 days since Lazarus died, and his body would smell. Jesus told her to believe in the glory of God, so they took the stone away from the cave, and Jesus lifted his eyes to heaven and prayed to God. Then Jesus cried out for Lazarus to come out of the grave. And he that was dead came forth. Lazarus, who had been dead for 4 days, bound in his funeral garments, stepped out from his grave, alive again. As Lazarus walked out of the cave, joy erupted among the crowd. His face radiated life, a stark contrast to the shadows of death. Friends and family rushed forward, tears of disbelief turning into laughter. This moment marked a powerful victory over despair. People shouted and embraced, feeling hope return. The miracle sparked a renewed faith in those watching. Lazarus's return ignited a flame of celebration that no one would forget. Life triumphed over death in an instant, transforming sorrow into pure joy. As the last miracle he will perform in this life, it also paved the way for Jesus' own resurrection, with the detail of the stone rolling away from the tomb also paralleling Jesus' revival of his friend. The raising of Lazarus is the last of the miracles of Jesus' life and offers to us a fulfillment of his divinity, representing his ability to conquer even death itself, through bringing the dead back to life. Jesus had already healed the sick, the lame, the blind, and the demon-possessed, many times. People believed he could prevent the sick from dying. So this was for the glory of God, so that the Son of God may be glorified by it. Jesus had to delay going to Lazarus immediately because he had to wait until Lazarus was dead so that he could prove his divinity to his disciples, once and for all. I hope you enjoyed this story about the miracle of Jesus, raising Lazarus from the dead. Not only is it a key event in biblical history, it demonstrates Jesus' power over death, and offers hope to us all for eternal life. It serves as a powerful reminder of the belief in resurrection and the promise of life after death. Thanks for joining us today. And if you ever do need rescued, send me a message. If it seems like more than I can handle, call on Jesus. There is no rescue that he can't handle. You're the best. Love you all.